Dobar dan. Welcome, fellow travelers and seekers of the unknown, to the shadowed realm of Vaesen, Slovene lands.
Ooh.
For some reason, my camera's not working.
Oh, it's a ghost.
Spirits.
I will deal with that while other people are talking.
Ooh, we're ghosts.
We're ghosts. It's a spooky Halloween special. It's going to be spookier than usual.
Spookier.
We've made Timothy completely disappear
Ooh.
with magic and demonic powers.
That classic combo.
Yes.
I'm me at the McDonald's soda machine with the cup. It says magic, demonic powers, pixie dust, spells, curses,
Sprite.
warlock stuff, Sprite, ice. And I'm just like,
It's a whole potion of malevolence.
yeah, it blows up in my face. And when the
And then
smoke clears,
Just
I'm
top
just
it
a
off with
worm.
Sprite.
Yeah.
There I am.
Yay.
Yay!
Okay.
Potion of turn you into a worm.
Technology,
And a
everyone.
little Sprite.
Yeah. For flavor.
All right. Welcome, for real this time, fellow travelers and seekers of the unknown, to the shadowed realm of Vaesen, Slovene lands. Here, the whispers of ancient legends weave through mist-shrouded forests and babbling brooks, bringing to life the eerie and the enigmatic. I am Kitschy, your guide and game facilitator, leading you through this dark and mesmerizing journey. In the year 1848, within the rugged and mysterious Slovene lands, we traverse a world where the boundary between the mundane and the mystical is perilously thin. As we step into this unsettling realm, we'll explore the shadows cast by industrialization and enlightenment upon a land steeped in folklore and arcane rituals. Here, amidst the crumbling halls of Pradjama Castle, our society headquarters, surrounded by the daunting majesty of the Julian Alps, the placid mysteries of countless lakes, and the haunting depths of vast forests, we shall uncover the secrets of the Vaesen. Trolls, Selkie, Fae, and other mythical beings that defy human understanding. With the sight, our investigators pierce through the veil of reality, confronting ancient spirits that have lingered since time immemorial, hidden, yet ever present alongside humanity. Join us as we rekindle ancient magics and face the uncanny, reconnecting with a world of mystery driven by primordial laws. Brace yourselves, for in the land of the Vaesen, the familiar and the fearsome dance an eternal, haunting waltz. With me today, we have...
Zdravo. I'm Chris, and I'm playing Joseph Fox, a man who knows about tracks and fields.
Hi, I'm Dan. I am playing the Pika-owning vagabond, Luca Koss.
Hi, I'm Ellie. I'm playing Aka Korlev, your friendly local nurse.
Havala. And now for a few disclaimers. All characters appearing in this work are fictitious. Any resemblance to real persons, living or dead, is coincidental. This actual play contains themes of violence, death, religion, sexual and potentially explicit scenes, depictions or discussions of traumatic events, and other adult topics that may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
And
Please
if we get
take...
all in one episode, you get a bingo. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Please take care of yourselves while listening, and if you find any of the content distressing, consider pausing or skipping ahead. Your well-being is important. Yeah?
Yeah.
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 So let us step forward into the shadows and begin. Veliko sreća. Previously on Vaesen, Slovene lands. Joseph, Luca, and Akka follow their first lead on the drownings in Ukance, a tall tale told by a local, Nico Gusek. Eyes of red, glowing embers, a haunting melody, and the blackest soul. Seemingly flourishes to scare children, but what actually lurks beneath the surface of Lake Bohemia? Our investigators set out to parse out what is truth and what is merely a tall tale. They made to turn in for the evening, but a short conversation with Evelyn Ležek confirmed one detail, a haunting melody that could be heard across the lake. Unable to rest while a lead lay so neatly at their feet, they set out into the night to investigate. As they stood at the edge of the lake, the eerie tune began to dance across the stillness of the water, while they watched the light of a lone lantern bob in the distance. Joseph led the charge along the coast to inspect, pathing them through the thicket, watching as the light disappeared into the tree line. Again, driven by the excitement of their growing leads, they pressed further into the woods, hoping to intercept the nighttime boater. They uncovered a small cottage in a hidden clearing, but alerted the inhabitant of their presence, who promptly signaled their apprehension towards nighttime visitors by barring the door. Fearing an altercation, they decided to turn back and return to their beds for the evening. Just before finally turning in for the night, the antsy middle-aged duo, Joseph and Akka, poked around the Ležek estate, uncovering details of their recent marriage and a gash on the hallway wall, further sign of Jakob's rage. Wednesday morning, Evelyn greeted the investigators with a nutritious breakfast and shed some light on the mysterious hermit, now known as Gašper Košir. Their trip to town hall developed another local connection, Katerina Novak, and revealed yet another lead, a news article detailing the strange disappearance of Zoja Herkog about 6 years ago. Their minds aflutter with theories, our investigators latched onto their growing story and decided to pay a visit to the Herkog estate. They were greeted by Iris, the maid, who Luca sweet-talked into revealing key clues that built out the history which tied Jakob, Zoja, and Gašper together. After disclosing her regrets to the party, she introduced them to the matron of the house, Nia Herkog. Nia took quite a liking to Luca and opened up about her daughter, unearthing the source of the chilling melody they heard the night before, a lullaby sung to Zoja as a child, and invited them to lunch the following day.
Lunch day.
We're having a Saltburn summer.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Oh my gosh, what a good reference. Yeah, basically. All right, so here you are. You have just left the Herkog estate, so world is your oyster. What are you doing?
Go see the guy in the woods.
Yeah, old man's cabin.
Might as well, yeah.
All right.
Same way we went last night.
Can you each make a learning roll for me?
Is it worth it for me?
You might get lucky.
Nope.
I got 1 success.
1 success. All right. And what about Akka?
No successes.
A full house, though.
I rolled 6 die and I got no
Successes, because learning is the thing that I'm best at.
We
God, did
switch
Akka
out her
like get a
dice
concussion
as well.
off screen that we did not see?
It's those books, those periodicals you're They're
filling my head with nonsense. All of my learning is about the character dynamics and the like fan fiction, my head canons.
It's a vast, expansive, imaginative world up there.
Yeah, and I've forgotten everything else.
With that one success, though, Joseph is remembering a book that he picked up at one point while you were doing your research during your preparation phase.
Okay.
So the way that we're going to do a lot of this learning is that as certain clues point you towards things that you read, we will reveal those handouts. So, Joseph, this is the text that you came across that is currently being recalled based on all of the clues that you've picked up thus far.
So it is a cracked leather-bound book that says A Field Compendium of Slavic Water Spirits by Spella Pernot.
Spella.
Wow.
Spella? Yeah, she...
What a great name.
What a great resource.
Oh, man, it's even got... Okay.
Yeah, so the way that I have designed this handout is it's just a bunch of excerpts from a larger tome that you're going to be recalling information of.
Jazz literature, there's some gibberish in there, but
Okay.
So I'll read through them. In many lore, the conditions that result in the tainting of a soul can vary widely, but do seem a common precursor to cursed spirits. In some cases, although likely of Christian influence, is the status of baptism of the individual. Others note of pure spirits, such as those of a virgin, being subjected to some sort of corrupting influence, like a particularly violent death or betrayal, a corruption formed of rage. Ozornitsia can be identified by their dirty green hair, bony bodies, and fins, whereas the Bolotnitsia, with their similarly messy and unkempt, are almost sickly pale with frog legs that are cleverly hid beneath lily pads. Voidyanoi, by some accounts, are particularly fond of tobacco, an offering that can be oddly enough be sprinkled at the water's edge to vie favor of these malevolent protectors. Rizalki are typically portrayed as young women with long flowing hair, which is often depicted as green or waterlogged. They may have an otherworldly beauty that captivates those who encounter them. Their appearance can range from alluring and serene to pale and ghostly, reflecting their tragic nature. There appears a commonality with the stories of warnings against the following of objects left along the water's edge. Ribbons, mirrors, and other precious items have been said to lure people to their death by spirits with an affinity for drowning. Any allure altogether should be avoided in matters of large bodies of water, although some may say this is just poetry regarding the dangers of beautiful women. That's true.
Yeah. That's true.
Joseph editorializes.
Yeah. Whoa, lore.
As he has been known to do.
Yeah, he is such an open book in terms of his emotions. The motivations behind a Rizalka's actions vary across different stories in some folklore. Rizalki are spirits of young women who have died tragically or violently and are bound to the water as a form of punishment or unrest. In other accounts, they are vengeful spirits seeking retribution for wrongs done to them in life. And the last excerpt is, fear the sounds of large splashes while alone at the water's edge. Voidyanoi have been said to deploy this technique to elicit further investigation, while their victims often miss seeing their beady red eyes buried in their algae-covered faces just surfaced from the perches under half-sunken logs. So...
Oh, beady red eyes. Sounds...
We've heard about that.
Yeah, in line with what we've heard so far.
That was from Nico's story, right?
Yeah, although we never really know with Nico.
So,
yeah, that's true.
Compiling what I see about the Voidyanoi, it seems that Voidyanoi like tobacco, which aligns with Gašper, or it's a similarity between the two. They cause large splashes, beady red eyes. But yeah, I hand the book around to the group.
I don't think we have the book.
You're recalling it.
Oh, I'm recalling it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I write this down
recite
on a
it.
piece of paper. But yeah, I thought this might have been, it was talking about the water. I didn't know there was some sort of relevance, but that's what I remember about these different aquatic woman monsters.
Nice.
Fun fact, outside the game. Do you know that Rusalka, which is one of the ones in there, is the original inspiration for The Little Mermaid.
No, that's cool.
Ooh, yeah.
So was it say? Is it just that she's a
She's like a water lady.
Gotcha. I mean, that's as good as a basis as any for The Little Mermaid.
There's an opera about it, and then she falls in love with a prince, and it doesn't work out in the end. It's tragic.
Does she turn into a bird? She turned into a cloud.
Sea foam.
Seafoam.
Yes.
Well, I guess once we lay eyes on this lady, we'll have a better idea of which one of these she might be. Although by the time we lay eyes on her, it may be too late. Maybe we can ask Monsieur Košir for more information.
I hope so.
I guess Monsieur is not. What's the Slovenian version of Mr.?
I don't actually know.
I don't know.
Honorific.
Mr.
Mister. Oi, Mr.
Governor.
Uni Mum?
Yes, I am.
Great.
All right, to the old man's house.
Woods. To the woods.
Yeah.
To the woods.
All right,
Into the woods.
For those of you who failed your memory tests, so sorry.
There was no
So
surprise.
dumb. We're holding hands in the back and skipping.
Luca is like,
I read a lot.
Really
Don't remember any of it.
I remember reading this like spell that is like for offerings for water spirits, but unsure the details of it. And Akka is remembering that at some point she did come across an excerpt about protection spells that could potentially be useful, but
Didn't look very closely.
no.
Didn't think it was relevant. I had a new periodical to check out.
All right, Joseph.
Yep.
Do you want to lead us?
I shall retrace her tracks.
With Brody's help?
Yes,
He's
indeed.
such a good dog.
This is his zone. He's been keyed in for this particular leg of the journey because otherwise he's just been like hanging around. But now he's on the hunt. A hunt for an old man in a cabin.
So we are coming up to like noontime at this point. As you leave the Hercog Villa and you start making your way up to the northwestern edge of town, you know from your late night walk that the cottage is up in this region just past the old watchtower. So as you like, yes, okay, I had to look at the map a little bit. So as you are making your way up through here, you're going to be passing the old inn, which is an older wooden structure. You can tell that the roof has gone into disrepair. There's probably some leaking inside. But it does seem to have been at one point a very like large tavern space, very like open concept structure where they could have held quite large festival type activities.
Nice.
And this is really where you're getting to the edge of town. So at this point, the sounds of all the townsfolk have kind of died out. And you're pretty much left with just the sounds of the forest. So today is a somewhat windier day than the stillness that you had encountered the day before. And so you hear the rustling of leaves and the swelling of cicadas as you are kind of immersing yourself deeper into that like musky, piney scent of the forest. And how would you like to approach? Would you like to try to retrace your steps from the coastline, or would you like to try to approach from the main road, understanding about where you ran into the cottage the night before?
Probably either path is fine, but maybe would arouse less suspicion if we came from the main road.
Yeah. Since we're not planning on doing stealth this time. We're just going to try and talk to him normally.
Yeah.
Are Pika and Broody with you, by the way?
Pika is.
Broody is, yeah.
Pika and Broody are.
Pika
okay.
comes with me.
Dog squad.
Everywhere.
I just want to make sure.
Dog squad.
We
Dog
didn't
squad.
leave them at Jakob's. I know we
No,
didn't
I don't
really
trust that man to
establish,
take care of
but-
my dog.
Not at all.
But Evelyn's a housewife.
Yeah, but Jakob was like a dog abuser. He's a people abuser, and so he's probably not above hitting a dog.
Fair point. Yeah.
All right. So I believe we do. Excuse me. I believe we do an investigation check. Is that what we've been doing to Wayfind?
Or was it vigilance?
No, vigilance is like anti-stealth mechanic.
No, yeah, I think it's investigation.
It's been investigation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Joseph can do that. You get your extra dice from Broody. I think that gives you 9, 10, 13,
Well, yeah,
50
it's
dice.
that's surprisingly no successes.
No successes.
I'm only good. Well, the failsafe is that we know the path from what we took the back way.
Yeah, so but if we get lost, well,
We're about to find out what happens.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
This is what I get for trying to do something new.
Yeah, it's just stuck with old reliable. Can't believe you were able to find your way in the dark through the woods at night, and now that we're trying to take the main road.
Yeah, sometimes just life is backwards like that.
Yeah. A man of the woods, not a man of the roads.
What is this weird black river that I see?
It's
Asphalt.
flat. It's clear.
I need rushes. I need branches.
There are no landmarks here.
So you press into the thicket.
Yeah.
And you start making your way deeper into the forest in the direction that you remember the cottage being. And you begin to cross paths with several footpaths and potentially animal, deer-formed paths, little trails through the woods. And as you are pressing deeper and you start to follow some of these, looking for signs of human travel, boot prints
Footprints.
in boot prints in the dirt, that smoother wearing of the earth that comes from the way that humans walk as opposed to deer and other animals. And you find yourself struggling to pick up the correct path. So you're traveling in the correct direction, at least in that general direction, but you're having a hard time locating the pathway that Gašper would be taking.
Did he move his house when we left last night? Because I can't seem to find it.
I would be impressed if he did, but I don't think he could have, right?
That was just a joke.
Oh.
Oh, such a dry sense of humor.
Like a summer field.
So you find yourself about 10 minutes into the woods, leading to the northeast from the main road, and you start to have the sense that you should have reached it by now, regardless of being able to find the correct pathway, that at least your general bearings would have put you in that general location. You could have picked up additional signs. Can you give me another investigation test?
Is this to be able to find if we can get it back out again? I'm imagining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, if we could find our way to the lake.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You're looking for signs. So basically what is happening right now is that you're heading in the general direction because you haven't been able to locate the pathway that Gašper takes. So right now you're trying to look for signs of human activity in the region.
It's another
That would at
failure.
least
That's a
help
rough
you
road.
bring you closer to that focal point.
We're about to get got by a forest spirit. We're about to run into a whole different Vaesen just from getting so fucking lost.
Yeah, that's another 9 failures.
All right. So you're at a point where you're like, okay, at this point, I should be close. So I'm going to start looking for some other signs of human activity. Maybe there's traps that he's set around this area. Maybe there are other pathways that he's taken. Maybe he has a little hunting fort. And you start looking for these types of things, and you come up with a loss. Everything in your immediate vicinity seems relatively untouched by people.
Sorry, folks. I really can't explain why this is happening now when I did so well last night, but I'd be on your guard because something feels wrong about these trees right now.
Is it because we're heading east? I have trouble heading west. I get confused by it.
Yeah, that must be it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's the magnetic field.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah.
Luca gives a really blank stare.
Okay.
Maybe we should head. Can I see any part of the sky? Or is it total tree cover?
Yeah, you can see part of the sky.
Can I try to figure out what direction I'm headed still?
Yeah.
Maybe we should just head back to town and
maybe if we can get to the shore of the lake, we can follow it around back to town.
I'm going to try my best to find east.
Yeah. Oh, that's easy for you to do.
Okay.
You can easily pick a direction and go. The task that you are failing at is
Locating
the exact bearings of a cottage in the middle of the woods.
Gotcha.
There's nothing that's preventing you from seeing where the sun is at. You know it's about noon, or at this point probably a little past noon.
Yeah.
So you can at least find the south.
Yeah.
Pretty easily. Once you know where south is, you can figure out the rest of the cardinal directions and go from there. So you said you wanted to head to the coastline or back towards the main road?
Just to the coast.
Back to the coast. So after about 15 minutes more of walking through the woods, you do make your way back to the coastline. And as you approach, you are able to find your bearings a little bit more. So because you did this pathway last night where you walked up the coastline and you figured out, and you knew where on the coast that light went in. So as you reach the coastline, you do realize that you hit a little bit south of where you had originally picked up his pathway.
Gotcha.
So you can trace that back up the coastline if you would like. So heading up north to the coastline to where you remember dipping into the woods the previous night. And now give me one more investigation check.
You got this.
Is there anything we could do to help?
If you would like to do a help action, you can.
Yeah, I just don't know what Akka could possibly do that would be helpful in this situation.
You're in tune, you keep records of in your notebook the bird and the newt that you'd found.
That's true.
Maybe
yeah.
you recalled you saw a bird at night that you're like, oh,
I heard an owl call or something.
Okay, so that's 1, 2. That's 2 successes.
Nice.
Okay.
It's about. I knew I had to get back to this boat. It all stems from the boat path. You smell the tobacco. You get the sense from the oppressiveness of the. Yes.
Just never should have tried to take a different path. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. Stick with what you know.
All right. So you make your way back up north, and sure enough, you find that large shrub that you had come across the previous night. The one the path was tucked just behind. And in the daylight, it's so much more obvious. It is a clearly trudged path through the forest. Very much human-made, of somebody walking to and from the spot many times over the period of probably years. And you're very easily able to follow it back to the cottage. When you arrive back in the clearing, You see a quiet cottage. No people in sight. No smoke billowing from the chimney or any other indications of human activity from the outside of the cottage. How would you like to proceed?
Was the boat there on the shore when we arrived? When we were like taking the coastline up?
You can check for it. Retroactively check for the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me an investigation.
Oh. Okay. I was hoping just to look at the boat. Well, I shouldn't do it. If it's investigation, don't make me do it.
I mean, I think unless you like prompt everybody else to look for the boat, you would have to do it if it's a question.
I thought like the boat landing was like our point of being like, I know where this is. I can turn in. So that's why I was thinking we would have noticed.
No, the boat was not present last night. You didn't run into the boat.
Oh.
We just saw that there was like a track of.
Yeah.
We saw where
Across
they
the
pulled the
track.
boat, like where they got in.
Gotcha. Okay, sure. Why not?
Go for it.
I didn't get it.
Eh.
No. So you didn't
Wow,
you didn't
two.
see a
Two.
boat
So dumb.
on the shore.
Sorry.
And that kind of hits you in retrospect. That you're like, I didn't see a boat docked anywhere. And you don't remember seeing it last night either.
Or as some of my friends would say, you're so pretty. You're so pretty.
I'm not though.
So pretty.
No? You're
He's
not a
very-
schmoozer?
He's very plain.
Yeah, he's
ordinary.
undetectable.
A plain Jane of sorts.
But a schmoozer.
Schmoozer,
Yeah.
yeah. Good with words.
Um,
And I think
Shall
Nia
we
was
knock?
just thirsty, so.
Ugh,
Gotcha.
she's like, he's under 20. Perfect. Oh, gross. Would you like, as our resident schmoozer, would you like to knock and schmooze?
Yeah, I can do that. But we're gonna all go together, right?
Yeah,
It's
we'll
not
go
just
as-
me.
yeah.
Hello.
You knock on the front door. It has a soft thud to the moss-covered wood of the door. And you wait for a moment. Don't hear any call and response.
Is there a window?
There is a window.
I'd like to look in the window.
Yeah. The shutters are closed, but you can
Can I peer through
through the shutters. Okay. So as you peer through the shutters, you see a dark room. Some light comes in from the outside, and everything is shadowed. Lots of browns, simply furnished. It's a small dining room with a single chair at a small table. You can make out on the table that there are some papers, a book, an unlit candle, and a plate with some silverware. As you look to one side of the room, you see a small cupboard, the door left slightly ajar. And inside you can see some cookware from the sliver of what you can see through the ajar door. Hanging on a hook to the other side of the room is a fall jacket. So leather, not particularly heavy, and a set of like muck boots. You don't notice any activity happening inside this room.
Don't think he's home.
Well, I suppose it is sort of the time of day that he would be out working, doing things.
Yeah, from what it seemed like, I didn't hear anybody talk about him other than whenever we brought him up. So I don't know what sort of role he plays in town, if it's just old man or whatever.
Do you think Broody could track where he went? Although maybe Broody's all sniffed out after that performance.
I crouch on the ground and I get up to Brody's ear and I say, "What do you think, boy? You think you have another sniff in you?"
Is there anything like lying around, like a set of
Yeah,
gloves,
like
or
a
something?
shedder.
Can you give me an investigation check, Luca?
Can someone else do it?
Is someone else looking through the
Yeah.
window?
Oh, not
Not
the
Oh, not the window. I'm
window.
thinking outside. I
Like-
want something that he can smell, that I can get for Broody to
okay.
smell.
So first give me an investigation check.
I
'cause
failed,
want-
just assume.
Okay, cool.
I rolled 2 dice. It's
Maybe-
bad.
That you still have some percent chance of succeeding.
Okay, so the idea is to try to get Broody to track him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're looking for something outside.
Something like if he has like a waste pot that throws tobacco ashes out, or if he had dropped something like a piece of clothing,
Handkerchief.
yeah, a handkerchief.
Gotcha.
Like work gloves that
uh,
he just sets aside.
Work gloves, yeah.
Joseph, give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Thank you.
I wanted to give you an opportunity since you were doing an investigation inside the house as well.
No. I'm not going to break into the house.
One success.
One success. Okay. Along the tree line, you do notice an outhouse.
Oh,
Yuck.
well,
I'll wait here.
Stinky.
nature calls. Yeah, I wander over to this outhouse and I look. It's like your prototypical crescent moon door outhouse.
Yes.
Okay.
First
Yeah.
scene of Shrek style.
Somebody.
Somebody.
What if he's been in
Right
there the
then,
whole
the
time?
door
my
slams open. This hulking figure of a man
Gašper
steps
Košir.
out, the ground trembling. Okay, sorry.
Get out of my swamp. I don't know what that.
Get out of my clearing.
This is my field.
All right, none of that happens. That was all
Just a little flight of
silly little
fantasy.
fantasy, yeah. So yeah, it's
Now I
your
really
standard
wanna
run of the
rewatch
mill crescent moon outhouse. As you approach, you do get the odor already. And Broody sniffs around the outhouse and gets the scent of this man, Gašper
Gotcha.
Košir. And you can be fairly certain, based on your experience thus far, that no one else is using this outhouse. This is a very solitary man who is not keen on having company. The scent is his.
Gotcha. Well, it's weird how things work out, but we got the scent. So
Yep, from the source.
from the source.
Great.
All right.
Lead us away, Broody. Is there anything else you
So
want to
I
do? at the
don't know
house?
how
Nope.
Broody makes any checks. I think it's just your
It's just-
investigation check with your Broody
Yeah,
modifier.
Brody's the modifier for that check, and Brody's the reason why we are succeeding that check.
All right. Oh, did you already roll it?
Yeah, I did. That's how
Oh.
I got the one success.
Okay, so you have a success.
Well, that was the.
Oh,
is
this
the investigation?
It's
to
about
was
find
to
us.
find the
investigation for
outhouse.
Broody. Okay.
Yes.
And now
we
this
have
is
to
the
do-
tracking roll.
Oh gosh, I'm rolling.
A lot
Seems
of
like a lot of
investigations.
investigation rolls.
You're just investigating nonstop.
This
Well,
is,
when you're looking for something.
yeah, this is my
I
bread and
guess
butter. Looking for stuff in the woods. Oh, that's
What
so
is-
good. Three.
Before we run off, what is Akka doing as well? So
Oh,
you have 3
God.
successes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing useful. She's looking around for local wildlife. She heard some sort of like owl hooting in the woods last night, and she's really hoping to get a glance of it in the daytime, even though usually you can't see owls in the daytime, but she's hoping.
All right, give
She's
me an
not really-
investigation check.
That helpful. She doesn't have anything useful to do. The boys seem to have it in hand. Okay, investigation. So that's logic. Okay. Actually decent at investigation. I guess I could have been helping. No successes. I don't see an owl. I don't see anything. I fall over in the
Do you
mud.
want to
No.
trade dice?
No. These are already new dice.
Already new days.
I just have bad luck.
Hey.
I need to cleanse myself. I need to go out and scream at the full moon for 2 hours straight.
We need a dead body for you to do medicine on.
I know, for me to not be afraid of.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really good at, is not being scared of dead bodies. So start killing.
We need a serial killer now.
Yeah. Or I need to poison someone. Stat.
So, okay. There's gonna be some fun things. So Broody goes from the outhouse after having picked up the scent. And he's going to make his way back to the main house, and he's going to circle that a while. And you're like, obviously, that's his house.
Yeah, it's like, it's out there. I point to the woods. I'm like,
All right, genius.
He does paw at the door for quite some time, the back door of the cottage.
oh, it has 2 doors? Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a back door. And then, as you point off, he starts making his way across the clearing over to the other side of the tree line, where you can see a path that starts to head out towards the main road.
Okay.
And you all follow?
Yeah.
All right. So he follows this path for about 10 minutes until you see the red roof of the old inn. And you can see that you are making your way back to the main road. As you follow, you can start to see more signs of his path to and from the village.
Mm-hmm.
So he basically has 2 pathways. He has the pathway back and forth between the cottage and the lake, and then the village and the cottage. And so now you are starting to head back towards town. You make your way to the main road, south, past Golicks, the Hercogs, the Bijiks. You turn down past the Elder's Villa, Jakob's house, and you start making your way up the hill towards the church. It's about 1 o'clock in the
Is it
afternoon.
Sunday?
No, this is Thursday. This is
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday, okay.
I wonder if he's visiting the cemetery.
Maybe.
Oh.
You start making your way up the hill towards the church. At this point, Broody is starting to get excited. The scent is getting
Good boy,
more recent. And he is, like, really trying to rile you up, get you up that hill. And he runs right past the church and takes a left into the old cemetery.
You were right.
And as you enter the cemetery, you see a man dressed in almost rags, walking towards you, towards the exit of the cemetery, and Broody jumps on this man.
Oh, Broody.
And starts, like, sniffing him, running back and forth between you and this man, and is very excited.
Sorry about that, friend. I suddenly give Broody a treat on the sly. And I say, I'm so sorry. I pick him up. I reach out a hand to help him off the ground.
Keep your dog under wraps. Can't bother. Why you bring a dog into the cemetery in the first place?
Sorry, we were trying to find you. And he just,
Yeah.
What do you mean? Who the heck are you?
We are investigating the drownings in the town. I don't know if you've talked to any of the other townspeople, but Jakob hired us to investigate his drowned men.
Of course I've heard of the drownings. Who do you think I am?
Well, no, I didn't know if you heard of us because I don't know if you've heard the word around town about the investigators, which are us.
We're the investigators.
No. Why would we need investigators?
Because it's an uncommon event for so many well-trained swimmers to drown in the lake. That's at least what Jakob said.
In such short succession.
Yes.
it's causing some fear in town.
And so we were asking around for
All right, well, what does that have to do with me?
well, that's what I was going to say. We were asking around to the other townspeople, and they mentioned that you lived out in the woods, so we tried to find you, and we found you here.
We're doing a regular conversations with all people in town.
And what about living out in the woods didn't tell you that I didn't want to be talked to?
Well,
I pass him my hip flask.
He like pushes away.
I don't want none of that shit.
Are you sure? What's your poison?
Give me a manipulation.
Oh God, I'm terrible at manipulation.
Well, you're certainly trying.
Okay. Because I know he likes tobacco.
Oh, true.
I did get a success.
Wow.
All right. You see that he has a sweat on his brow, and there's like a little bit of a quiver in his left hand before he snatches it from your hand, whips it open, and just takes a large swig,
I get days like that too.
caps it, and pushes it back into your chest.
Oh my god. Akka is displeased that you're enabling this man's alcoholism. She scowls at you and is like,
I shrug.
Anyways, I don't have nothing to talk to you about. Now, if you don't mind leaving me be, I'm gonna get on with my day. I suggest you do the same.
I'm sorry, sir. But I suspect that's not the case. We're interested in speaking with you about... Oh god, what's her name?
Zoya.
Zoya Herzog. We heard that the two of you were close.
Give me a manipulation.
I guess I can technically inspire him with alcohol, but I won't because this man has a problem. Oh, no. Okay, I'm not really very good at this. 1 success.
Nice.
Wow. Hey, guys, I figured it out. The secret is to roll fewer dice.
Weirdly enough.
All right. So, can you also give me an observation?
Sure.
can I also give an observation?
Oh
as
yeah,
I'm, like,
everybody give me
watching?
an observation.
Everybody look at this guy.
We're wrapped in attention.
1 success.
1 success.
No successes.
0.
All right. So as you mentioned Zoya's name, you notice a wince, a tense up of his neck muscles. Just grunts and sighs, and you see his like fists are kind of clenched.
I smile blandly at him using my bedside manner.
How dare you bring up that name? What do you want to know?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that it was a sensitive topic. It sounded like she was just such a lovely woman.
She was. You better have a point, or you better keep that name out of your mouth.
You seem very protective of her.
I don't know what you're talking about. She's a lovely woman.
And the two of you were close?
You could say that.
Well, what our research turned up is that she was also a victim of drowning. And so we're trying to understand if it could have some sort of correlation to what's happening here. Of course, it sounds like her death just devastated the community. And if it has anything to do with what's been going on recently, we're very interested in, putting her soul to rest. Don't you think it could potentially be related? These drownings in the lake?
You see his eyes start to dart around the cemetery, and then at each of you, looking you up and down, and you can see the cogs turning in his head.
It's not possible. Just leave her out of this. Just go to your investigation. Probably Jacob anyways. And off employees that he doesn't like.
Luca will start to whistle the lullaby.
Give me a manipulation check.
Ooh, that's what I'm good at.
Yeah, boy. Break this man.
He's gonna be crying like a baby.
That was one success.
One success. Okay. Again, you see he has sweat now dripping from his brow. He's like, he pulls out a handkerchief and wipes his brow. You can see that it is like stained with sweat. And he coughs into it. His left fist, oh my goodness, left fist now visibly clenched. His neck muscles tightening.
I'm going to step in front of Akka, because if anybody's going to get hit, it's going to be me.
Sir, the sooner that we're able to get this information from you, the sooner we will leave you alone.
Through gritted teeth.
Where did you hear that?
I think I heard it the same place you've heard it recently. Out on the lake last night. I know, at least from what I've heard, I know that...
You really don't know what you're getting yourself into. You better be damn sure that you're ready, but the hell that's about to come.
What?
Tell us more. Tell us. What are we getting ourselves into? How can we know? How can we know? We're outsiders here. You're the one with the knowledge. You're the one with the understanding. You're the one who knew Zoya. Tell us. Help us. And we will leave you alone.
He's just breathing heavily. His nostrils flared.
Should not have given him alcohol.
Just a little
You can't
bit.
act that quickly.
I know. I want to like splash him with water.
Yeah.
Should I do something stupid?
Yeah.
Yeah, should I do something? I'm going to hug him.
Aww.
All right, give me a manipulation.
Break this man.
Emotionally cripple him.
Oh no.
That's no successes.
Wow.
Okay.
Good thing we've
So,
got a nurse.
as-
3 pairs, though.
All right, cool. I'm going to pull out the book.
Oh no.
Great. You're about to get your nose broken.
That's fine.
As you go in for a hug, this man lurches backwards and puts his arms up into a defensive state. And he goes in for a swing. I'm going to pull up the combat mechanic.
Okay,
Ooh,
this is
boy.
fine. I'm good at close combat, actually, so...
Do you want to beat this man
Do you
up?
want to be good?
No, but I'm assuming you
Subdue
can
him.
use... Not bad.
Because he is going to try to
Everybody in
give
this
you
town
a
is so
big old
aggressive.
wallop on the face.
I'm assuming I use close combat to, like, dodge and whatnot. And if it's, like, agility instead,
Yeah.
it's also fine.
Yeah. So
Maybe you
okay,
can break
you
his
have
nose.
a slow
And
action
then I'll patch him up, and then he'll feel
plus
him.
a fast action / reaction.
Oh, right. No, I've got a little thing that tells me what I can do.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do initiative. So combat is divided into rounds. And we will get playing cards that are 1 to 10. And I actually have my special cards that I got for kickstarting this game.
Hey!
That I believe is right here. So I'm going to pull these out. And I don't know why I didn't plan for this happening, but we have...
Nobody thought Luca was going to get in a fist fight
I
with
was
an
trying
old
to
hermit.
hug the man.
No, I'm right there with you, man. This guy is so combative.
This is what
Right.
happens with
Yeah, no,
most.
he's very combative. He has been aggressive this whole fucking
I want to
time.
give him fucking ketamine.
All right, so
Just stab him in the heart
how
with a...
combat works
Send
in
him
this
into a
game
cave.
Yeah.
is that initiative is a card. There are cards 1 through 10, but you select the numbers for how many combatants are in the fight. And we just shuffle, and then you draw, and that's your initiative. So there's no like rolling initiative in the system. So this one's going to be for Akka. This is for Luca. And this is for Joseph.
Can we look at him?
And I believe one is the top of the initiative. However, we are going to start with the action that initiates combat, which is the slug. So,
Are we allowed to
Can we look at our
number?
cards?
yes,
Okay,
please
good.
look at your card.
I'm 3.
1!
Whoa,
Oh,
good job,
nice.
Akka.
Gorgeous.
I'm
we
quick
all
on
go-
the draw.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time a patient has tried to punch me.
So you do have a reaction, Luca.
I'd like to dodge.
Because you have a slow action and a fast action / reaction. Everything in here is done zones in distance. So it's basically a zone, or the seam zone is that you can get there within a couple steps. So that would be close, medium, far.
I imagine we're all close.
Yeah,
right
you're
now.
all close. You're all within close combat. So this is going to be close combat. And then a dodge is an agility-based reaction. So is agility
Yep.
physique. Agility to physique.
Yep. I roll 7.
Wow. All right.
I'm fast. Physique is my highest.
You can
Attribute.
also... Oh, yeah. There's a slow action called Persuade that maybe you can...
Yes,
That's
you
what I
can
was
use
thinking.
social actions in combat because this is not meant to be a combat system.
Climb a wall. Aqua turns around and just starts climbing.
All right, and I believe it is the way that we do that is he will roll as well. And I believe a common person only has 2 dice for most of these things. He's also drunk.
Yeah.
And old.
All right, roll your dodge.
2 successes.
Okay, he has 0 success.
And 4
So
fives. Almost
you
Yahtzee.
see as he swings, aiming for your face, you dodge out of the way, and he whiffs. He like follows the punch through, and he's putting his full weight behind this punch. He is going in for a blow, and
I just like lean back.
yeah, you lean back. He's moving very sluggish. You can tell throughout this whole conversation that he's relatively drunk. And so he begins to stumble on himself, which will bring us to the top of the order. So who has initiative 1?
Akka.
All right. So Anka, what would you like to do as he is stumbling over himself, having tried to punch Luca?
Oh, for goodness sakes. Let's see. Is there like a hold?
Yep. A grapple.
No, not a grapple. Like a, can I like wait to do something until late? Like, I feel like I'm not going to go in and try
Yeah.
and punch this guy.
Yeah, so what's really nice is that you all have your own initiatives, but you can kind of share within that. So until it's back his turn, so I have initiative 4 for him. So everything 1 through 3 can kind of be a little bit more fluid.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I kind of want to give Luca a chance to like talk him down. I feel like if I jump in and start like messing or like it's just gonna make the situation, it's gonna like escalate the situation. I'm no good at persuading or manipulating, so I feel like talking isn't gonna help. So maybe I'll just hold off and I'm ready. If somebody gets punched, I'll have some like a little ice pack for them or something.
All right.
I just don't think there's anything super useful I can do this round. So.
Yeah, because that's how it handles it. So it is called swapping initiative. So during combat, you can kind of just trade your initiatives around.
Great. Lucas first.
Right. Do you mean actually physically trade the cards, or
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
Then I'll go first.
Yeah, so you can choose to swap initiative during combat. You may only swap cards at the start of the round.
Yeah.
So this is the start of the round.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can all now trade those out.
Cool.
Great. I feel
Yeah.
good about this order.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, gorgeous.
If I'm going first, then I would like to try and catch his arm to steady him as he stumbles.
All right.
And then I would like to try and persuade while doing so, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You look like you were in a lot of pain. I know you loved her a lot.
All right. Give me
It's a
that
little bit of a loaded
manipulation.
statement.
My lord. None.
Wow.
None.
0. Full house, though.
Maybe we can just follow him secretly again
He
tonight.
seems to be in a flurry of anger. Like, his anger is blinding him.
All right. Well, I'm holding onto his arm so he doesn't fall over now. So,
That's nice of you.
All right.
and that's it. I've used all my actions.
I'm going to try to grapple him.
All
I'm going to
right.
say, friend, we're only here to help, and trying to fight us is not going to solve your problems. We want to help you. We want to work together to solve this town for not only you, or solve this problem not only for you, but for the whole town. Because I think the source is the same guy that we're thinking of that's causing all this misery.
All right. So a grapple is
I think it's force.
force.
Yeah. So I got 5.
And I believe he can resist this as his reaction.
He can break free or dodge, I'm assuming. I got to break free.
I got 1 success.
Nice.
One success. Okay. So it's actually kind of normal for people to have between 2 and 4 on any stat when they're NPCs.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to say that he's not very agile, but he is a 4 physique. But he has 0 successes.
Get it.
So I pin him. I get under one of the crooks of his like the crook of his arm, and I sort of like got him pinned up between you got one arm, or you're holding on to one arm, and I got the other side of him. Saying,
But I'm gently holding.
yeah,
him
you're gently
so he
holding,
doesn't
but
fall
it's sort of like
over.
he's between. Yeah. So I got a grip on him.
All right. He begins to profess and pull away. Anka, what are you doing?
I'm not good at persuading, but I'm gonna try and persuade. I'm gonna say, boys, please, no fighting in the churchyard. Don't you know the watchful eye of God is gazing down on us? And I'll appeal to his perhaps religious nature. Okay, so that's manipulation, which I'm not good at. We'll do, so that's 4. But if there's anything I've learned, it's the fewer dice I roll, the better I do. Nope, no successes.
Doing
So
great.
he is trying to break
We are
out
not trained
of
de-escalators.
your grapple. So he is going to, and you said that like he's pinned between the two of you. But
Well,
he kinda has,
I've sort of got him by the shoulders. One arm, a hand on his elbow, and a hand on his shoulder.
Okay. So he is going to try to just elbow check you. So he's going to do I think it's close combat physique.
There's an unarmed attack. Does force?
Oh, force.
Yeah.
So he's going to use force physique. That's what it is for an unarmed attack. That will be 1 success. Would you like to use a fast action reaction to dodge it or attempt to dodge
Sure.
You can also parry.
or parry?
I
I don't know how parrying works, but
I
yes.
will parry.
You can parry close combat or dodge a ranged attack.
Oh, a ranged attack.
Oh, is that how that
Oh.
works? So it should always be parrying for close combat.
Oopsies. I didn't do that. My bad.
Close combat force instead of...
I think mechanically that kind of
Oh.
works.
It was one dice less. That's okay.
Oh, but close combat is an agility, isn't it? It's agility.
It says you use agility to
Oh, no,
dodge,
it's
so that would be
physique.
ranged, and
Physique.
force or close combat to parry, depending
They are
on whether
both
or not you are
physique
armed.
based, yeah.
Okay, so which should I roll?
So you're
Close
going to
combat?
do close combat or force.
Okay.
In theory, you also must choose to do it before you know whether the enemy has succeeded.
Oh, shh.
Good to know for the future.
That's all right.
I didn't say anything.
No worries.
I'm just reading.
We're
the cheat
learning
sheet. I'm
combat for the first time in this
I got
game.
one success.
Nice.
One success. Oh, who wins
Neutralized.
on a time?
Is this stalemate?
You for every success that the fast action gets, you reduce the
You
number of
adjust the
successes.
damage. Okay.
Each success deducts one success from the enemy's
Yeah.
attack.
Gorgeous. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So he like tries to elbow you, but you're able to like palm it out of the way. That brings us back to Luca.
I'm sorry. Truly, we're just here to help. We don't want the people in this town to die, and we know you have a connection with them, with her.
I feel like at this point we should just try and get him to calm. I don't think we're going to get any information out of him.
Oh, yeah.
We just need to like get out of this situation and then follow him secretly or something, or break into his house.
Yeah, I think he's too
Yeah.
flustered.
Yeah.
All right,
What's his name
Give me
again?
a
His name is
manipulation.
Gašper. She's killing people, Gašper.
Oh no. Okay,
Give
fine.
me a manipulation.
I was going for the like she drowned and they drowned and maybe they're
One success.
Yeah, I think it's too on the nose. He's like,
In my mind,
I know, 'cause I know.
think he knows.
Yeah, well,
because he talks to her.
Yeah.
Like he visits
Right.
her.
Yeah. Okay.
So you see his body goes slack. Joseph, since you have him grappled, can you give me a force?
Okay.
Can I help since I have the other arm? Well, I guess to do what, I think is really the question.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I got one success.
All right. So he goes slack in your arms, and you feel his full body weight press into you,
It's okay, buddy.
and he begins to sob uncontrollably.
Did it again.
It's a twofer.
Broken this man.
He stops fighting. And can you all give me observation?
Hell yeah. One success.
No successes.
None.
So he begins to sob uncontrollably, gasping for breath, his body slack, and in between his sobs, you hear him starting to mutter, mostly to himself, but also maybe he's hoping you overhear what he says. Maybe he's hoping that you're actually going to help, because he starts to mutter about how it's not her fault. It's horrible what was done to her. And he begins to slink out of Joseph's arms onto the ground, where he crumples onto his knees and buries his face into his hands, muffling the remainder of his muttering.
Luca will kneel down next to him and like rub his back, like consolingly, and say, I know we don't blame her, but she's so angry. She has to be stopped.
It's almost as if the world falls into silence with how all-consuming the muttering and sobbing becomes. And it takes him quite some time to even become responsive again.
I'll stay. I'll keep rubbing his back.
What is everyone else doing?
I look to Akka and I give a glance and say, wow. Joseph is kind of in shock just because this guy has had such a wild escalation of emotions in this last minute of us talking to him. But yeah, he's sort of pinned underneath Gašper and he's just silent.
You're stuck underneath him.
I think
he kind of collapsed.
Oh, because he rolled onto his
like,
knees. He's on his
he
knees.
kind of
now.
like slinked out.
Yeah.
Let's give them a little space.
Yeah.
I'm gonna step back over to like a nearby grave marker or something.
Do you have any water?
No.
I just have the alcohol.
Okay,
I have a doctor's bag with medical equipment. Would that have water in it?
Can you get some from the church?
Yeah, I'll go get water. So I'll go into the church and ask for a cup of water. Or like see if there's a well or something
Holy
nearby.
water.
a ladle, yeah.
Just kidding.
Holy water.
Yes, you just pull the holy water off the wall and carry the bowl.
Here, I found some water.
No, you
I'll
do
look
run
for a
into
well.
Father Matei, who is able to escort you to the well off to the side of the church.
Great. Yeah, I'm getting water and bringing some back.
Yeah, and you're welcome to have any conversation with Father Matei, if you would like to. If there's anything else you'd like to press on, or it can just be he helps you get water.
He'll just help me get water.
All right.
Bless you.
Thank you. Luca has shifted to crisscross applesauce, but is still rubbing his back until
lean over and
he
give you a little
responds.
cup of
Perfect.
Yeah.
water, and then back off again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on.
We sit on a stone.
It is going. It's like hysteric.
I have like in very hushed tones, just enough to like, so he can hear me over his own wailing. Do you want me to talk about her?
You should put Pika therapy animal.
Pika, right. I will. Oh, and Pika, if I had sat down, Pika would probably hop out of the bag on her own. I'll put
Therapy
Pika.
dog
I will
Pika.
put Pika in front of him.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Who couldn't love Pika?
After a few minutes, he begins to calm down a bit. He starts to sniffle and dry his face.
I hand him the cup of water.
Running down. Akka returns with water, and he takes the water from you, and he chugs it.
That tracks.
Yeah, I'll go get some more.
And then you see he holds out a shaking hand towards Joseph. You notice his eyes locked onto your hip flask.
No.
Akka, I agree with the sentiment.
Mom and Dad are fighting. I'm staying out of this.
The man has a problem. Yosef. You probably have a problem, frankly.
What? I don't have a problem. I protectively guard my class.
Well, it's up to you.
We can save this for a little bit later, but I think I send Broody over.
I can't think about it anymore. I want to make the hurting stop.
Have you tried talking to somebody about it? You can't keep all those ideas kept in your noggin.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to talk to a friend.
I kneel down next to him and say, "Remember, sir, you don't want that poison." Or what was it? What was the phrase he used when he first rejected it? Do you remember? When you first offered it to him and he was like,
What? I don't need that. Or,
yeah, like, get that stuff away from me.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah. I tried echo that phrasing.
Look at me. Who's gonna listen?
Us.
We're right here.
You got 3 friends right here in your court.
Ready to listen.
I loved her so much. I'll never forgive him for what he did to her, what he turned her into.
He seems a pretty brutal person under that veneer.
Can you tell us what happened?
We're all practicing active listening.
Yeah.
Making eye contact, nodding.
Is he interacting with Pika yet? Has he seen Pika?
Surprisingly, he's not.
Zoned out.
He's
like this
he's
man.
like he has this 100-yard stare. His responses, he doesn't even turn his face to talk to you. It's like he is so ashamed that he's trying desperately to detach himself from the situation, to completely and utterly disassociate.
Bro. We are doing terrible things to the mental health of the people in this town.
No, he'll feel better after he talks about it, I promise.
Okay. I don't know. Are you a trauma-informed therapist, Rita? I don't think you have the tools to help this man with what's going on with him. Okay. This is fine.
Dan knows
I know.
that he'll feel better.
I know. This is
Yeah.
just Ellie being like, oh, God. We got this man dissociating in a graveyard.
Let's do some grounding techniques.
he
Breathe in
is
for
sitting-
7.
Yeah, you're all sitting
Hold
on the
for
ground.
4.
Name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So
Where are you feeling this in your body?
Right here in my heart.
I think we can kind of fast track this conversation
Yeah.
Okay.
based on the trajectory.
Yeah,
that
we've
this is
broken
all
him.
going.
He'll tell us
You
everything.
have, you've gotten him
Inflict him.
to a point where he is rather, he is fully broken, down,
oops.
broken down.
Okay, so not broken, but mental
The
condition.
mental
Well,
condition.
okay,
Where
so
you die.
He is broken. This is a very broken man.
Yeah.
This is a man who has been numbing himself for 6 years.
Yeah.
Since the death of Zoya.
Oh my god.
And to the point that he has moved out to the middle of nowhere, shut himself in, and everybody in town thinks of him as this irreparable drunkard hermit.
Well, fuck this town. Jeez.
I mean, you've not heard nice things about this man from anybody that you've talked to. They've all discounted him completely at this point.
Yeah.
And he has nowhere to turn to. He has no one to talk to. Whether that's his own doing or just the situation, that's up to you to decide. He doesn't quite know what happened to Zoya. Out of his pocket, he pulls a cloth. And since Luca, you're the one that's physically engaged with him, you see this rag that he clasps in his fists as he tells you about Zoya. He tries to focus as much of the conversation on her as possible, revealing a much deeper relationship that anyone else has let on for the time since you've arrived at this town. But throughout this whole conversation, it is apparent that he does not know what happened to her. He is assured of her death, however. And the rest of the conversation, he tries very desperately to avoid saying anything about the present. He holds tightly onto the past. He doesn't want to move from that point.
When you say he's assured of her death, what is it? Just like that he
knows she's dead. Even though the news article said that it was an apparent death, her body was never found.
But so when he had previously said like it's terrible what he did to her, like what was he alluding to? Does he elaborate on that?
Yeah. So at some point of the conversation, if you push into that region, he gets again noticeably angry and frustrated, but does tell you about his hatred for Jakob. That Jakob is a cruel man and let out the cruelest of his nature on her because she was so kind and would overlook so many of his pitfalls. That she sought to please those around her, to appease her parents, appease Iris, that she just wanted to make everyone happy. And for Jakob to take advantage of that and to cause harm to her made him monstrous in Gašper's mind.
So we kill Jakob, drown him.
I mean, that's one solution. Yeah.
Hey, we don't even know if that's a solution, though.
It can't hurt.
That's true.
Yeah.
We'll figure out a solution in a minute.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe this is a good place for us to go on an intermission. We're going to take a brief intermission
Woo.
and allow the shadows to deepen. Every time.
The trauma to deepen.
And the mysteries to simmer.
Therapy.
Back to back.
For the
Therapy
next
for you.
15 minutes, immerse yourself in the atmospheric embrace of our interlude. Whether you are watching our video, where enchanting fog scenes will drift across the screen, or listening along to the haunting strains of Slovenian folk tunes, take this time to refresh yourself. Sip a glass of water, courtesy of Aka. Stretch your
Fresh from the well.
and perhaps indulge in a small treat. I know I will. Let the whispers of the land call to you as we prepare to delve back into the enigmatic world of Vaesen, Slovene lands. A timer will count us down, guiding us back into the heart of our adventure. Return soon as the shadows await and the veil beckons. Goodbye for now.
Sama rožice žalostne vse. Povej nám, dekle, povej, kaj ti je, vprašane so rožice vse.
Welcome back, everyone. Wow, we're here again. And we just had a very emotional experience in a cemetery.
What? What do you mean?
Just your average cemetery experience.
We were having a conversation. What do you mean?
So we just wrapped up our conversation with Gašper, who we've learned quite a bit from.
And yet surprisingly little also.
And surprisingly little also, yes. So,
But we're not done with him yet.
yes, you are sitting...
We've got a couple of more tears we can wring out of this stone.
Oh my god.
Men's emotions.
Wow. All right.
I take men's emotions very seriously.
All right. So he's been telling you little bits about Zoya, about Jakob, about the history between him and Zoya.
Were they... Do I get a sense from the things he's saying, were they mutually in love, or was he just, like, kind of obsessed with her?
Give me a observation.
One success.
All right. They were mutual.
Oh.
Although,
Requited, even.
at least he believes that they were mutual.
Mm.
From what you're only getting one side of the story. So
Yeah,
I can only tell you what he says. But from it does seem like her actions were indicating a mutual feeling that she feared expression of it. That they were spending a lot of time with each other in secret. That she was aware that this was a secret relationship. That it was her initiation that made it secret because she wanted to keep it from Jakob.
Which makes sense.
Okay.
But it was not physically intimate.
Okay.
It was an emotionally intimate relationship that she still felt the need to keep from Jacob.
Okay.
Because he's a douchebag. Yep.
Yeah.
A violent douchebag.
Heard, chef.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if we want to, like, poke the bear a little bit more.
I mean, I feel like we haven't necessarily, like, found out anything from him that we didn't already, like, suspect. What I'm particularly interested in, although I'm not sure if, like, this is the right situation where to get the information, but, like, what's she doing now?
Yeah.
Where is she? She's in the lake. Like, what's going on with that?
Yeah.
Is there anything...
He goes
like,
to see her. Yeah.
Goes to see her. Like, can we get any, like, practical information that we can use to resolve the problem?
Yeah. And from before, it seems like he's intentionally dodging that aspect of...
Yeah, he's not
The
talking
conversation,
about the present at
yeah.
all, or like, yeah. So I
You
don't
would
know
have
if we
to
want to,
press him for this.
All right.
but up to I don't know if that's wise because he's already like,
Yeah.
Has he like grounded more? Like, is he more in the present now? Like, emotionally, like, isn't quite as dissociated after talking about it?
or is he still in the
He
void?
is, but you're noticing that he is reaching that wall, that like social wall of like his battery is depleted.
He is a hermit.
Yeah,
He
that's
is
true.
Probably the most
exhausted. This has been an emotionally tolling experience, and he's starting to get slower and quieter, and you can tell that he's looking quite tired.
Should we walk him home?
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's walk you home.
Send him home, and we can follow him tonight.
I can walk him home. I don't think we all need to walk him home, right?
Do you know how to get back to his house?
He knows how to get back to his house.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last time we weren't so successful.
But you might have to drag him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll. What should we do, Wall?
Can we swing by the church? I kind of wanted to ask Father Matei. Does he come here often? Is there a grave site for Zoya?
I imagine.
Yeah, so Father Matei will very openly answer your question. He comes often, never into the church itself, but only to the cemetery to visit her grave. Although the body was never recovered, she does still have a gravestone. And he can point you out to it if you would like.
Sure, that maybe we could check it out. I also wanted to know, before Zoya's death, what sort of relationship did Gašper have? Just what was his? Did he have a job? Did he have a profession before Zoya's death, or was he always sort of like a castaway?
He's an artist.
He's an artist.
No.
And as you're having this conversation with Father Matei, because Luca is taking Gašper off.
All of a sudden, Mateus loose lips.
Yeah.
He just needs to
Jesus, I had to
talk to an old guy.
traumatize him to get him to talk last
He doesn't
time.
like teenagers.
This isn't
The two of them are the
speaking
same
ill.
age.
This isn't gossip. This isn't gossip. This is history.
All right.
And factual
Whatever.
information. According
It's
to
gossip
Father
when a
Matei.
19-year-old does it.
Abusive
It's
behavior
history
is
when
still
a
history.
70-year-old does
You just
it.
have to wait 6 years, and then it turns from gossip into history.
Okay, gotcha.
Come on.
All right.
This
It's-
is a
no,
man
it's
of the
fine.
cloth.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
a man of the cloth. The rules are loose and fast.
Yeah, we know.
All right.
All good.
Anyways, he is open about just very like surface things. Like he doesn't come to the church. He goes to visit her grave. He's an artist.
Yeah.
He doesn't express judgment in any of these things.
Yeah.
And I think that was a lot of what your conversation with him before kind of required judgment to be passed. And you did push him to such a thing. Anyways, so he shows you to her grave as he's saying, yes, so Gašper was an artist, although my understanding is that he hasn't painted anything in years.
I can understand he was pretty hit by the passing.
But as you do arrive at her headstone, you do notice a piece of paper, folded up piece of paper sitting on it that just says, "My love."
It says my heart.
My heart.
They're
Thank you.
They're symbolic. Oh,
I read it, handed it over, and immediately forgot.
Father Matei's not with me, is he?
He shows you the space, the headstone, and then you can part ways if you would like before picking up this piece of paper. Is that
yeah.
what you're trying to do? Yeah.
Yeah, I show it to Akka.
I actually thought, if it's okay, I kind of wanted to go back and check on Evelyn. Now, like, knowing what we know about Jakob, I'm, like, pretty concerned about her well-being.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So while you're talking to Father Matei and you're taking him back to the house, I think I'd like to go check in on her to make sure we don't get
A
fucking
duplicate.
drowned girl round 2 electric boogaloo.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll finish up the scene
Okay.
with Joseph, and then we will go to Akka.
So it's a small note. The world feels so much colder without you here, and my heart aches with a sorrow words cannot express. I bring these flowers as a small token of my love I will always carry for you. A love that time can never fade. Though I no longer see you smile or hear your laugh, you remain in every breath I take and every beat of my heart. I miss you more than I can bear, and not a day passes that I don't long to see your smile again. Rest peacefully, my love, until we meet again. You will forever be my light in the darkness.
And this accompanies a small bunch of daisies.
He's a romantic.
They were just friends.
They were just roommates.
They were roommates. But I will put that note back on the grave, and I'll head down to Jakob's.
All right. So Akka, you make your way towards Jakob's house. So down the hill, at the base of the hill, you find Jakob's house, estate, as one might have referred to it as earlier. And you can see that Evelyn is outside, hanging up laundry on the clothesline.
Great. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping since it's like the afternoon that maybe Jakob will be out doing something else. So I'll go up to her, and before anything else, I kind of want to while we're interacting, I'm sort of like looking her over, checking to see like if she has any visible bruises, if it looks like she's like favoring an injury of any kind, anything like that.
Give me an observation.
All right. Not gonna. Ooh, she's gone. All right.
I got it.
Is this like emotional observation or physical investigation?
Yes, physical investigation. Sorry.
Okay. It's the same number.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. That
I guess
is
it
Holy
could be,
moly.
It could be either.
4 successes.
You're saving them all for
Oh
now.
my god, dude!
Okay.
Yeah, wow. It turns out actually Akka is just a victim advocate. It's her calling.
You mentally and emotionally harm this woman just by looking at her.
No, it's investigation. It's investigation. I just learned a lot.
Yeah, you learn.
She's pregnant. You find out.
Whoa! Congratulations.
No, we've already established.
Yeah, we know. Yeah.
I mean, it would be news to her. She was. And a very special skill for Akka to have. All right. Anyways, so 4 successes. Y'all only ever get like 4 successes or none.
Yeah.
There is no in between. There's barely any, just like single success. I did the task.
Is investigation the one where then you can like use it later if you get extra successes?
Oh, let me double check because I do remember that being.
I think that was observation because I got that
For
and I have no investigation. I have
Okay.
very little.
Very bad.
If you roll more than required, you find more clues, understand the context, or
Okay.
simply this is the one where you can simply enjoy the satisfaction of a job well done. Which I'm not going to do
right.
to you here because 4 is a lot, and also this is kind of important.
Yeah.
So you do notice that she is wearing long sleeves. And she also has a tall, frilly collar. And as you recall her garb in the morning and last night, those are common themes.
And is that unusual compared to the garb of other people in town? Like, is it hot
It's
enough
hot.
out that
It's
long
summer.
sleeves?
Yeah.
It's summer. Long sleeves is a bit bizarre. It's doable in this climate.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a bit bizarre.
Especially with the high collar.
Yeah. She is, I mean, at first you might have thought, oh wow, she's a fancy lady. She's wearing the latest fashions. But now that you have all of this history, it is a bit suspicious. You do also notice that every once in a while, as she's hanging the clothes on the clothesline, she kind of like winces as she raises her right arm. And then you notice that she's kind of like, she rubs it a little bit on the bicep area. You also start to notice that while she seems really sweet and lively, might not quite be the word, but a little bit more active in her speech, she looks tired. She looks very tired. Remembering that she's only 30 something. You really see that she looks older. That all of everything is put together. She's gone through all the correct motions to present herself as put together and presentable. But the more you watch her as you're like approaching, the more you realize there are these little signs all over the place. That maybe that put togetherness has been a struggle. It's not so easy. I know you got 4, but I think that's it.
Okay.
It does kind of confirm your suspicions, though.
Yeah, I mean, I suspected that's the case. Tiger won't change his stripes. Okay. Well, in real life, Ellie doesn't know shit about dealing with domestic violence victim advocacy, so I don't want to fuck it up in fantasy world either. So I'll probably just leave that and try and kill him later. Because I'm just gonna like fuck it up. I'm gonna say something insensitive and like just not gonna handle this well. So I won't bring it up to her or anything.
It's messy. It's a messy thing to handle.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very complicated.
And Akka probably doesn't have as much experience with it.
Yeah, no, she's just like, she's a nurse. I mean, like, in theory, like, I guess I could, like, leave her a little, like, something to, like, a painkiller, or if, like, maybe I mentioned, like, oh, like, I noticed your shoulder seemed sore, like, here's a recipe for a poultice or something, you know, but, like,
Yeah.
I don't know that there's, like, anything I can do to help her besides kill her husband.
Yeah. Sometimes support and solidarity can go a long way.
Yeah. Cool.
So can murder.
So good murder.
Yeah,
case.
that's pretty big lever.
This problem has a
Very
name and an address.
Vengeance seems to be the theme.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, if people are drowning, I got a guy who needs to be drowned.
We got a girl who could do it,
Yeah.
too.
God forbid women have hobbies.
I know, right?
Oh man.
Okay, well, that's all from me.
All right. So you do actually go to talk to Evelyn, though, right? You had kind of established that you want to go talk to her, give her something.
Yeah, I think I just make small talk with her and maybe
Yeah.
help her with hanging up the laundry, and then say something like, I noticed, you know, that your shoulder seems like it's bothering you. I have a recipe for a poultice if you need.
Yeah, she smiles and she thanks you and asks you, like, she participates in the small talk, asks you how the investigation is going, how your day's been, where are the other two at, as she then notices Joseph arriving.
Hey there.
Yeah, I might ask, like, what time she expects her husband to be home, or, like, what time he usually gets home. I think I would like to try to be here when he's here until he leaves, basically, so that he can't do anything to her.
Gotcha.
All right. So yeah, she'll welcome the company. And she just makes small talk and asks you how the investigation is going. She doesn't pry into anything. She doesn't do anything to rock the boat.
Yeah, we'll help with her chores.
Yeah. You sense a bit of relief that there are outsiders here.
Because she basically is an outsider herself.
Yeah.
Maybe
and
I'll
she's been
sort of
here
like,
in Ukance with a bunch of people who have always lived in Ukance.
chat with her about like her family. Like, does she have any siblings? See if I can get her to like tell me about her family
Yeah,
back
she
home,
has
where
a
she
sister.
came from. Yeah.
Both of her parents are still alive. She goes to visit them on holiday.
Good.
Yeah. all
Am I
those
remembering
normal
correctly that
things.
she goes to
Yeah.
Paris? I'll ask her about her
Yeah,
trip
she
to Paris.
has been to Paris.
Yeah.
It's been a while since she's been. Actually, ever since she married Jakob, she hasn't gone on any big trips.
Oh gosh,
He's
well it must be
very
might-
tied to his business and very.
Well, you know, a woman can
concerned.
travel on her own these days.
Fair. Fair.
If you're ever feeling a little, you know, homesick or, you know, what is it called? House fever?
Cabin fever.
She looks
getting a dose of
wistfully
cabin
into
fever.
the distance and lets out a soft sigh.
You could probably.
And kind of avoids responding a little bit.
Nia Herzog seems like a traveler type. Maybe you should talk to her.
Yeah, that's
She's rich.
Lovely.
yeah.
Although I don't suppose we have too much in common, to be completely honest.
Nothing. You never know until you try. What? I don't live here. I don't know.
How's your delivery? How's your guy delivery going?
Yeah, how's my guy delivery
Yeah,
going?
so we can pivot over to that. So you are able to walk him back to his cottage. And now that you're inside, there are a couple things.
You're inside.
Yeah.
You're so fucking in.
You can see.
So you help him in, and he is like, he's very tired. He wants to go lay down. So you like help him into the bedroom.
Tuck, 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 tuck.
Tuck you in really
and-
tight.
Give me an investigation.
Great. Nope.
No.
It added up to 6. Does that count?
No.
Okay.
All right. So you just see, so like in one of the side rooms, you do see that there is something covered up in a white sheet. And then next to his bed, there's like a little side table, and the side table does have
Oh.
a
Ooh,
necklace, a
Um,
blue stone necklace.
oh, I get it. Yes, give it to me. Just kidding. I'm not going to take it.
Um,
How old is he? About how old is he? I don't think we ever established. I know he's described as an
he's
old
in
man.
his late 30s.
Oh.
Late 30s.
Same
Old.
age.
Old for
He
me.
has been an alcoholic for 6 years.
Okay, that's
Oh, that's fair.
Probably longer. He's probably been an alcoholic for longer, but it's really been exacerbated by the death of Zoya.
Yeah. Has he been chatty at all with me on the walk back? I imagine Luca would have been somewhat chatty, just talking like small talking.
Forcefully, you can continue to get information from him, but he's like really gotten to a point where unless you are prompting him with questions, he is not just talking.
But like, what if I like small talk prompts? Like, how is? Do you fish? Like, do you go out on the lake? Like little things like that. Like not
Yeah.
pushing him
Yeah.
on this.
His responses are a lot of like, yeah, and grunting and no,
Okay.
not really. The shortest possible responses at this point.
Gotcha. Okay.
He's all talked out. He's starting to really fade.
Were these hers? And I point to them. I don't actually pick them up.
He goes over by himself and picks them up, and he holds them.
They're very
Beautiful. Put them on. Show us QVC style. Ooh la la.
He's going with all of your
Ooh,
outfits.
Zoya,
They
come back to
were-
life.
One of the few things that we found next morning.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I managed to pick them up before anyone else noticed.
I'm glad you have something of hers. You know, my sister disappeared a while back. And Pico was hers. And so I have that. Been looking for her, but I don't know. It makes me happy that you have something to remember her by.
He has like a grimaced smile on his face, and he puts his hand on your shoulder. And then he walks back over to his bed. You hear it creak beneath his weight as he sits down on it. His shoulders slumped forward. And then he leans back and kind of curls up on his side. Just kind of sits there with his eyes open for a little while.
Well, I'll leave you be. Do you mind if I check in on you later?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Friendship.
I'll just I will like as I'm leaving just be like I'm not gonna touch anything. I'm not gonna like invade his privacy. But I will like look around.
Yeah. You do peek around a couple different... it's a small cottage, so there aren't like too many other
Sure.
rooms that you haven't already seen. So there's like the one side room where you saw basically it's an empty room with some shelving along one side, and then something in like in the middle of the room covered in a white cloth.
What shape is this thing covered in a white cloth?
About your height, maybe 3 feet wide.
Does it have corners like a box, or is it like a draped
It
over
has
an
like, yeah,
organic
it's
corner?
got
Is it
corners
potentially like a
box.
canvas on a on an easel shape?
Potentially.
Okay,
Oh.
cool. I have no idea what that is, but I'm not
It's
gonna.
hard to be like, you failed your investigation check, but obviously there's a thing in
Okay.
the room.
Yeah, but Luca doesn't know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's a
okay,
good.
Okay.
That's what I imagined it is anyway.
And then there's like the kitchen dining room, which is a small space, and that's basically the whole cottage.
Okay.
Yeah. He lives simply. It's not a lot of stuff in there.
What time is it about right now?
We're probably getting up to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There is kind of this like pain in your stomach that kind of like
Right, I'm hungry.
sharp kind of sting that reminds you of the time of day.
Gotcha. Okay. I will just leave then and head over to. Well, I guess I'll head back in the direction that we were,
Yeah.
and hopefully catch you guys. If I don't find you at the cemetery,
Yeah.
I'll
I mean,
probably head
if
back
you're
to
making
Jacob's
your way back
anyways.
to the cemetery, you're going to pass Jacob's house.
Yeah.
Jacob's house.
We're probably all having a nice lunch,
Having some fruit tea.
hanging out with Evelyn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Since
she
we
would
got
absolutely
we
make
helped her
you
with her
lunch
chores, so
and-
they all got done early.
Although you are, if you're having lunch with Evelyn, you are remembering you did get invited to the Hercog roll.
Tomorrow.
That was tomorrow.
Because this is still the day that we met.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
The same day. Never mind.
We have a packed social calendar.
Thursday
but we are
tomorrow
not
with a
rude.
We have lunch tomorrow. That is correct. Thank you.
Yeah.
It has been a long day, and it feels like it should be the following day.
Yeah.
We would never do Nia like that. Nia, right?
Yeah, Nia.
Yes.
Well, yeah. So when I get back, I'll eat because that's important. And then I'll just like mention that I want to go back and check on God, what's his name? Gašper. It's such a odd name. It doesn't stick in my brain. I could write it down.
It's like Casper with a G.
Yeah, that's how I'm gonna remember it now.
Like
Gasper,
Like, we could
the
check it,
friendly
like-
hermit.
Like, we're gonna check on him later.
Unfriendly
Just make sure he's okay.
like later today or like tomorrow or
Later
something?
tonight, maybe at dusk.
My
to
favorite
make
time.
sure he's okay.
Yes.
Wink.
I mean, yes, to make sure he's okay, but also wink. But that's all I got.
But I'm hesitant to leave Evelyn alone at home alone with Jakob tonight.
Maybe we could take her because she hasn't been able to go to the. Oh, well, he'd know that she's not there.
Maybe we could take him? Since we're going to drown him anyway,
Say we have a lead.
right?
All right. So at some point, you all like leave Evelyn.
Yeah, we don't say.
Okay,
her
yeah,
name.
yeah, yeah. I'm
have like a
just
side
kidding.
conversation. I mean,
I'm just
you all can have
kidding.
like little side conversations. I mean, this is what are you all doing for the rest of the day? You have lunch with Evelyn. Do you stay with Evelyn the rest of the day?
I mean, I feel like we'd have to have some side conversations. We can't like.
Yeah.
And
So at some point, Akka pulls you all aside and says, "Let's drown him."
I'm concerned that won't actually fix the problem because we don't know if that's gonna.
I'm not trying to
fix
fix the drowning problem.
We're just trying to fix.
I'm trying to fix the Jakob problem.
I wonder if we expose him, if the town will reject him.
I'm not optimistic.
I'm not sure, given that I think people already know he's kind of a jerk.
Seems like an open secret.
But what if we
With
can
my
frame
motivation to improve public health, I want to kill him.
him?
Public general well-being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what if we like frame him
For the drowning?
Zoya's murder? Like
6 years ago?
It could happen.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Sorry, we're brainstorming. No bad ideas.
Yeah, I'm just like thinking of like how do we get rid of him without killing him per se?
You object to killing him?
Yes and no.
We could lose him in the woods. I don't know.
Or maybe we just present him to the spirit of Zoya and let her decide.
Well, that's what I mean when I say drown him.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. I guess that's fair.
If we can get a boat and try to recreate the scene, and we have life jackets,
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best option in terms of trying to make it seem like an accident. I don't know.
I think either way we need to see her.
Yeah.
So we know what kind of entity we're dealing with.
Yeah.
So maybe we go by ourselves tonight and then bring him the next time.
Yeah, because as shitty as Jakob is, our priority should be helping the people of this town. And while I agree getting rid of Jakob in whatever way would be helpful to the people of this town,
Well,
he's not killing people.
I'm not even
that we know
thinking
of.
about like getting rid of him at this point. I'm just like worried that like he's gonna come home and like beat Evelyn up.
Yeah.
And by being here or keeping them apart from each other, like we can go like do investigation and try. It's an ethical conundrum.
I know.
It's like, are we doing a greater good by going and doing our investigation tonight, knowing that that potentially means that she's being exposed to more physical violence, or is it a greater good to specifically try to avoid her being exposed to physical violence as opposed to going and doing our little investigation of the spirit? These, when you want to play with fucking domestic violence in your goofy fantasy setting, these are the issues that come up.
Okay, question.
Yes.
Does Evelyn know about Gašper? Well, I'm assuming she knows about Gašper, but she probably doesn't know Gašper.
She doesn't know Gašper.
She's only heard of Gašper or seen Gašper very briefly. And she seems like a lovely lady. And I wonder if she would be amenable to visiting Gašper with us. And if she's having a hard time at home, she might think of an excuse to do why she would do that.
We can say she's helping us with the investigation.
Yeah.
True.
We need a local to show us around because we got lost the last time we
Yeah.
tried.
And we can leave a note for Jakob before he gets home if we leave before that. And Gašper probably won't have the same animosity towards her
Yeah.
if he has never really met her before. She's an outsider.
Yeah.
She isn't the same people
True.
who rejected him.
And she's like a victim of the same situation that Zoya was a victim of.
And if anything, she can stay in his cabin while we investigate. She doesn't need to come to the lake with us.
That's true. They could have a little biscuit together.
That, if you mean like stay there for days or like
Or at least just
Yeah.
tonight.
while we're
Yeah,
doing
while
something.
we're
So
doing
she's
it.
not like tagging along with
Gotcha.
us on our investigation.
Yeah, because I don't want to bring her to the lake in case.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are coming up on the end of the session, so I have 2 questions for you. 1, do you talk to Evelyn about Jakob at all?
How do we hint at it without hinting at it?
Well, maybe as a follow-up to our conversation about cabin fever and traveling, I say, well, it's not quite a trip to Paris, but we could use a local to tag along with us out to Gašper's cabin tonight. We had kind of a hard time interacting with him this afternoon, and I think, having somebody like yourself there would really help.
And it is such a lovely being out in nature at nighttime where you can see the stars and hear the crickets.
Yeah, it would be a huge help to our investigation.
And we won't go near the lake if you're
Yeah.
concerned about that.
No manipulation roll needed. She will agree to that.
Yes!
Do you talk about Jakob at all, though?
I don't think, if she doesn't bring it up, I don't think we bring it up.
Maybe we mentioned that we could leave him a note. Like, just that. So, like, we
Yeah.
could leave Jakob a note so he doesn't come home and is concerned about your safety.
Yeah.
And saying it that way might inspire something.
And then
Because we've known this woman for like a day
Yeah.
or two. Like,
Yeah.
We had breakfast with her. We're besties.
Yeah.
We had cereal. Yeah.
They
And
want to be like, is
then-
your husband beating you?
Do you feel safe?
Can you all give me a learning roll?
Okay.
I sure can.
Oh, I'm good at learning.
I rolled 2 1s. Does that do anything for me?
It does not.
Snake eyes.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, no.
Womp womp.
All right. So the plan is to take Evelyn after dinner
Yeah.
to visit Gašper.
This is good.
Jakob will join you all for dinner. So after a day of spending with Evelyn, you will have dinner with Jakob and Evelyn.
Keep it together.
After which
Anna's,
he
like,
will retire
clutching the
to
silverware.
the writing room in the on the second floor of the house.
So we go now.
Yeah.
Well, he's not present.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe we brought it up during dinner that, like,
Oh, yeah.
like, Yvonne's going to be joining us this evening.
I would say let her bring it up
Yeah.
if she wants to talk about it.
She doesn't bring it up.
Great. We won't talk about it.
No problem.
All right. With that,
Yeah.
we are going to close the curtain on this installment of Vaesen Slovene Lands. Yeah.
Bye.
The calls of the wild linger for next time. Ooh. A heartfelt thanks to Free League Publishing for their steadfast support of independent TTRPG creators through the open gaming license rules, and for crafting the rich tapestry of Vaesen. Especially to the talented writers Niels Hintz, Niels Carlin, and Rickard Antoya for their exceptional setting guidelines. Our gratitude also extends to Thomas Herenstam for the Year Zero game engine and to Niklas Lundmark for his crucial role in making this game accessible through translation. We also owe thanks to Nerea, whose haunting renditions of Dreo, Yijito, and Andro have beautifully enhanced our intro sequence, and to our incredible players, Ellie, Chris, and Dan, whose performances breathe life into their characters and craft the tales that captivate us. Finally, thank you, Russell, for helping me prep for these sessions and for moderating our channel. This project has been a profound journey, reconnecting with my heritage, a heritage disrupted by historical and personal trials, from the destruction of historical records during centuries of crusades and colonization, enforced language barriers due to assimilation theory in the 60s, and to the loss of my grandfather during the COVID-19 pandemic, my last direct connection with my homeland. For all those, like myself, striving to reclaim and redefine their cultural roots, I stand with you. May you find grace, empathy, and kindness in your journey. As David Mitchell eloquently wrote in Cloud Atlas, our lives are not our own. We are bound to others, past and present, and by each crime and every kindness, we birth our future. Thank you for joining us. Farewell for now, and may the echoes of the past guide you until we meet again next week. Na svidanya.